Greetings. Okay, so last month I promised that I would teach you how to accelerate the pace at which you make money. I thought I'd get to be with you in person, but alas, I'm in Chicago. Didn't check my calendar as closely as I teach people to check their calendars. So I'm getting to come to you via DVD. Now, with regard to the rate at which you make money, and the acceleration of the rate at which you make money. I will speak a lot more about this at the Goals Workshop and at next month's commission meeting. But I will share with you right now that if you'll just stay tuned for the next few minutes, I'm going to give you information that really will accelerate the rate at which you make money. So if you want to make money faster and achieve the lifestyle that you long to live quicker, or have the home or the car or just the income, savings, investments, whatever that you long to have at a quicker, faster, more steady pace, stay tuned for just the next few minutes. So I'm going to have you to please write down this statement. Eliminate the time between the idea and the act, and your dreams will become reality. I'll say it again. Eliminate the time between the idea and the act, and your dreams will become reality. Now, I'm going to give you an example that is, I'll tell you the truth, probably going to feel pretty uncomfortable. When I first learned this information just last weekend, I was incited. I mean, just passionate about making a difference, and it wasn't necessarily a positive excitement. I was enraged at what I found out. However, I also knew that I could take this rage and make a difference in the world I learned about, and I could use it to show you that if you eliminate the time between the idea and the act, your dreams will become reality. Now, your dream is, of course, for something positive. This is a bit more of a negative example. Last weekend, I was at Brendan Burchard's sponsorship and partnership seminar. It was an incredible event. Brendan definitely knows how to accelerate the rate at which he makes money. And the event is where I met the person I'm going to tell you about to give you the example of eliminating the time between the idea and the act so your dreams can become reality. During this weekend in San Francisco, I met Rick. Now, Rick also accelerates the rate at which he makes money. He makes lots of money in the internet world. But that's not what I'm going to share with you in my example. Rick was there representing an organization out of Washington, D.C. that stands for, fights for, and frees children who are sexual slaves in this country. Now, he's telling me about this, and I'm sitting there in disbelief. I said, what? In this country, the United States of America? He said, Donna, in this city right now. These are children that are being purchased by very wealthy folks in our nation who lived in gated communities. They're purchased and they're brought here and they're kept as sexual slaves. I said, how many can there be? He said 1.6 million right now. I can't even tell you what was going through my mind and my heart, because I have such a love for the gift that God has given us and our children and our grandchildren. And I made up my mind I was going to somehow get involved and make a difference. And as I began to ask him questions about this organization, I was reminded of a judge, a very well-known judge in Cleveland, who was convicted of molesting children. Now, this judge was very well known, very well respected, taught Sunday school, adored his family, was well known and well respected and revered by his friends and his peers and his colleagues. He was convicted, and at some point he gave an interview. How in the world did this happen? You were this person and you became this person. How did this happen? And he said that he had certainly recounted all of his thoughts and his actions and his behaviors. And he said, you know, I remember being out on my lawn one day watering the lawn, and a little girl went by on her bike, and in a millisecond, he said, not even a millisecond, the idea went through my mind, and I dismissed it. And weeks and months went past, and another time a situation like that presented itself, and then for maybe 2 seconds, the thought went through my mind. Again, weeks, months passed, and I found at one point I was having that thought just sitting at my desk, and I dismissed it and I moved on. And he said, after enough time passed, and this became the only thing I was thinking about, I acted on it. And I was caught and I was convicted. Now again, I told you that the example might be uncomfortable for you, but I make the example through these uncomfortable circumstances so that you will see what works with negative behavior also works with positive behavior. When you can eliminate the time between what you want, whether it's your home or your car or your lifestyle or your income or a project you long to complete, when you can eliminate the time between the idea of that and acting on it, when it becomes all you think about, it will become reality. When you get to the point where, let me give you an example. Perhaps in a housing situation or with a car, you thought about, these things are going wrong with my house, I need to get a new house. And it was kind of a fleeting thought. These things are going wrong with my car, it makes me irritated, I need to get a new car. It was a fleeting thought. Now are there more things happening with the house? I've got my budget arranged, I probably could start thinking about a new house. Same thing with the car. Okay, so now I've got my budget arranged, I really am kind of getting irritated with fixing these things with the house. I think I'll just start looking. And then you begin looking. And then you go from, well, I think I really have narrowed it down to what I can afford, and it will certainly be the lifestyle that I long to live. And before you know it, you're doing dream building, you're visiting lots and lots of homes. And what I propose to you is when you eliminate the time between the idea and the act, your dreams will become reality. The sooner you can get yourself into dream building and visiting that home and those houses and having that consume your mind at all times, the sooner you'll be in the house. The sooner you get to the point where that car that you long to have is all you think about, the sooner you'll have the car. The sooner you get to the point where your income level, you can see your life at that income level that you want to have, the sooner you'll be at the income level. Again, the examples I gave were negative and uncomfortable even. And the examples that I gave said when somebody took a negative thought and cultivated it and nurtured it, they got to the point where they acted on it. Well, what this law says, this very, very governing law over both positive and negative, is that when you get to the point where what you want is what you think about all the time, it will become reality. When John and I thought years ago about we might go into a new home, it was a fleeting thought. And then again, we began looking, thought about building, thought about buying, and most of you know our story of what I call the house the Lord built. Many, many years ago, I thought about speaking. It was probably a fleeting thought at one point. And then over time, I began to be more interested, and I began to know people and get to know people even more and set up my situations to where I would be a part of that world. And really, before you knew it, I was speaking. So I'll close with this. You all know the Dale Carnegie concept of thinking positively. Think positively and have positive expectations, and positive things will happen. Well, Mike Vance has put something on the end of that that makes it more powerful. Not just think positively, but put yourself into situations, opportunities, activities, and organizations that cause you the opportunity to believe positively. Surround yourself with the circumstances of that income, that project completed, that savings, that home, that car, even the ideal partner in your life. When it becomes all you think about, it will happen. That's how you accelerate your income. Go from the idea to the action quicker by moving forward the amount of time you invest in thinking about it. When it's all you think about, it'll be your reality. Challenge me to this, and I'll see you next month.